All right. What is up, Teach Better Talk podcast? This is Jeff, and you might be wondering what's going on because if you are a subscriber of the podcast, you've been following the team for a while, you know that the podcast has kind of been on a hiatus for a while now. We've done one or two random bonus episodes here and there, but it's even been a while since any of those have happened. And so, but I have something for you that I felt like, hey, this is a reason enough to jump on and get an episode out there, to get some stuff out there. And that was after talking as Josh was sharing something that he has going on. You know, Josh, this isn't a new face by any means here. Josh has been a member of the family for, I don't know how many, I think 6 years. Are we at 6? It's got to be 6 years now, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say at
2019
least 6.
Teach
Yeah.
Better Conference was like the first, like, I think you were connected before that, but that was when like
Yep.
you was right after that led to you and I starting to do the Aspire mailbag episodes for your podcast. And then that led to you working with the team, building and growing the Teach Better Podcast Network, and you and I becoming inseparable for life.
That was really my goal from the beginning.
That was the actual mission accomplished, my friend. But in the recent times of the last year and a half or whatever or so, you are doing your own thing with Aspire Media. That never went away. That's always been a thing. But you're pursuing a whole bunch of cool new things that you've got going on. You got another book out. You got like 38 podcasts that you do at this point, with like 17 or 50. No, you have 3 podcasts now, right?
I do,
because you have your Aspire. You've got your the one with Charlie, which
language of behavior.
Language of behavior. I didn't want to say it wrong. And then you have the newer one. And there's
Vibe EDU.
And there's 4 of you. Is there 4 of you on that?
Yeah, there's 4 of us. Yeah,
there's 4 of you guys on that. Shout the other 3 out for me real quick.
Yeah, of course. So it's Mitch Weathers, myself, TJ Berry, and Kim Gamaros.
And it's one of those podcasts that's not only like informative, but it's also like a lot of fun because you guys just have great energy. Like the vibe, I mean, the name works, like it makes sense. So it's really good. So, and that's all awesome and everything like that. But like I think what we're here to talk about today is that you're launching these, and we kind of technically launched yesterday, based on when we're recording this today, your Aspire to Lead cohorts, your leadership cohorts. And so when you kind of like, when you first shared it out, and I can't even remember where if you like texted me about it, I think maybe we were just like doing some voice text back and forth and you mentioned it. And I was like, hey, we should do a podcast episode about that when you get close. And so here we are. And so it's out there. So let's talk about that. Let's get into that. So let me back up just slightly a little bit, and maybe we can go a little bit of a history lesson for anyone who's listening that maybe isn't aware. Obviously, if you're watching a video, you can see all the Aspire stuff, and I've already said Aspire a couple of times, and Aspire to Lead, and that is actually the first book, and kind of where a lot of what you do, I won't say all of it, but so much of what you do is founded on the principles of Aspire and the framework and the method and model and everything that you have created there. So can you give us just like a brief overview of that? And then maybe just, if you want to just kind of like take us from there into the cohorts, a little bit of like what made you come up with, like, decide to launch this new idea, this new opportunity for school leaders.
Yeah. So first off, thanks for having me on here, Jeff. I know the podcast's been on a hiatus, but it's like riding a bike, buddy. It's just like
it is. And, you know, I'm going to go ahead and call myself out, because prior to coming on, it's hitting the record button, I'm asking Josh, I'm like, I want to make sure I get the right questions out of that. And Josh is just like, dude, we've been doing this together for like 6 years. I don't think we need to prep.
We're not
like,
prepping
right.
for this.
We don't prep anything. So here we are. This is unprepped. Jeff
Unprepped. Yes, I know, right?
Unprepped.
That's what the people want, Jeff. Let's go.
That's the next podcast you and I are going to start together. It's just called Unprepped. I don't even. It's literally going to be whatever we decide to talk about that day.
More time with Jeff Gargas is better for me. So,
you know, one episode's going to be, we're going to be complaining about the Browns. The next episode we're going to be complaining about the Timberwolves. Then we're going to be talking about Marvel or Star Wars or something, and then
love it.
Chad, I don't know. Like, it's going to be interesting. Yeah. So, all right, go. I'm hitting mute. You answer the question.
Well, I don't even remember the question, but I'll give you some context. So 8 years ago, I started the podcast Aspire to Lead. And so that was a project because, and this is really what the cohort's all about, is I started a cohort with a couple of assistant principals in my district for leaders or aspiring leaders in the district to kind of give them just a viewpoint of what it might look like. And these are people that were identified by principals every campus had 1 to 3 people that they got to select, and then once a month we would meet and we would, just help them out as far as understanding what leadership is all like, what that role looks like. And because of it, literally, Jeff, like 90% of the people that were in this program moved up into another role. So they got promoted. And a lot of them didn't even realize that they had leadership qualities. It was just the principal saw something in them, invited them to the program, and then they kind of were enlightened by not only what they had inside of them as far as their skills, but then also a desire to do something grander than the title that they currently were on. And when I say promotion, it was like, I'm a teacher, and then I become a district ESL specialist, or, it doesn't have to be campus wide, like everyone became a principal. That wasn't the idea. It was just trying to get them to understand that they could do something different, and give them that opportunity to see all that's out there. Because most folks don't understand that there's more roles than just assistant principal and principal within a
There are a
district.
lot of opportunities for leadership and to
So
lead,
many,
right? And to yes.
so many. Yeah.
Yes.
So because we did this program for 2 years, because it was so successful, the district then took it over. So the district leaders, were the ones that led it moving forward. It looked actually quite different from the program that we created. But what happened is I had this void of like, I still want to do this. I love working with aspiring leaders. I love the cohort model. And I didn't know what to do with myself, honestly. And so what I did was, I was a part of a principals association at that time. I just started creating aspiring leader programs. So it would be like a random Thursday. I would have guest speakers and I'd have activities created for them. It'd be about 90 minutes. And I'd have like 150, 160 people show up just from my own district. And that was kind of that light bulb moment for me. That was like, holy crap, like there's a lot of folks that are seeking information that they're not finding on their campus. And maybe they don't have a mentor, maybe they aren't finding it at the district level, but there's really no roadmap. I know I got frustrated as an aspiring leader of like, what do I even do? Like, how do I even become a dean of students, or how do I become an assistant principal? And so for myself, it was just kind of stumbling and figuring out as I went. And so I didn't want other people to have that same frustration. And so that's where Aspire to Lead the podcast came from, with the idea that at some point I would create a cohort model, which we're going to be talking about today, to have it more of a community base. Because for me, not only was I frustrated with like not a whole lot of information as to figuring out like how to become a leader in the district or at a campus level, but also there was a lot of toxicity in the campus as far as everyone trying. I had 6 other people on my campus all trying to get to that next level. So it was extremely competitive. And the relationships that used to be friendships turned into adversaries because we
Yeah.
were all trying to get a leg up on each other to move into that admin role.
So okay, so this cohort, so it kind of goes back to it's both sort of a full circle back to what started it, but also, and this is I don't know that I feel like maybe I knew this, but maybe I just kind of forgot that like you've been wanting to do it for a while now, ever since, and such. It's just been so many other things that you've done in the last however many years, and so you did the podcast, you did the book and stuff like that. And obviously, people who know you know the rest of the journey. I don't know. We don't need to go through all that. I want to get into the cohort opportunity now. So let me ask you that question real quick, because that was what sparked my mind. It's like, okay, so like, why now? Like, you've wanted to do it for a while. You obviously already knew that you already have the experience and the knowledge to do it. So like, what was it that's like, what, this is the time to do it. I need to launch this now. This is what, I'm doing. Let's go for it. Like, what was it that really like triggered that? Because obviously it wasn't something that you thought of last week.
No.
You've had to put a lot of time and effort into
Yeah.
planning the launch for this. What kind of sparked it for you? Oh, yep, now's the time. It's time to go ahead and pull the trigger on this and actually launch this thing.
Yeah, it was actually a conversation with an aspiring leader. It was just them struggling. I was coaching them, and it was just kind of that rekindling of that fire I used to have for it, and realizing that I missed it. And so I knew of a couple of folks that have built communities themselves. Wanted to see how that worked for them and how they set it up, and then just kind of modeled the same thing for Aspire to Lead cohorts to give them a place to come to. I think leadership is a lonely space, and especially once you're a teacher trying to be something else, you start to get this identity that's, oh, you're you're going to the dark side. Oh, you're different now.
Yeah.
We're no longer peers. And so with that shift, sometimes you can feel like you're on an island, even though you don't have that title. And so I was hoping to build, something that is inclusive, that's supportive, that provides hope, especially during the adversity that you're going to see as a young leader.
Yeah. And so, okay. All right. So let's talk a little more into the details of the cohort and the program itself. So we've kind of already touched on this, but I'm gonna have you sort of maybe say it as clearly and like quickly and clearly as you can. But who is this program for? And then we'll dive into like the actual what it is. I'll cover a little deeper there.
Yeah, it can look a lot of different ways. So, I mean, maybe you're a teacher leader, you're trying to explore kind of that leadership transition, like I was just talking about. That's really hard to navigate. I know a lot of people that may already have maybe a slightly different title, like a department head or
Hmm.
maybe an instructional coach, and they're eyeing an administrative role. They want to make a change there, which was someone I was just talking to. Maybe it's even a new leader. They're brand new and they don't know what the heck they're doing. They don't feel like they're getting a lot of support from the
Already
district.
have the title, but don't
They already have the
know.
title, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah. All right.
I know in Texas specifically, a dean of students is like this kind of in between admin. You're an
Hmm.
administrator, but not really. You just get all the dirty jobs that nobody wants, and you don't know what the heck you're doing. So you're hoping for some peer support there, or maybe you're just like a veteran that is looking to make a change and try and get into the district, but they don't know what titles are out there or even how to make that shift occur. So that's kind of my thinking, and a lot of the folks that I talk to now are kind of in one of those piles.
Would this be a fit for someone who I'm a classroom teacher. I'm seventh grade science teacher, and I love my job. I'm good at it, but I feel like I just want to do a little bit more. But I have no interest of doing the like paperwork and the admin stuff. I don't want to be in the office. I want to stay in my classroom. Like I just have no desire to follow that quote unquote traditional route. Is this for me if I'm just like, but maybe I could be a department chair, or maybe I could help lead
Yeah.
a new campaign or some sort of thing that we're implementing or whatever it might be. This fits for that as well, right? Because that's where you kind of touched on at the beginning. Like there's so many ways in which you can take on a leadership role and be a leader that actually may not even have a title either, right? So it's just really about that. So like this fits for anyone who's just thinking, I want to lead in some way or another.
Oh, for sure. And there's titles that are being created all the time. I mean, like Jeff, when I was in the classroom, there was never a director of innovation. That did not exist. But
Hmm.
most districts have that as a position now.
Yeah,
So I know that there's a director of equity that didn't exist when I was a teacher, but that exists now, right? And so a lot of folks
yeah,
don't even know these things that are existing now that didn't exist before. And plus, I think it's just exposure to what the possibilities may
yeah,
be. And those were some of my favorite conversations as an admin, is bringing in a teacher and letting them know, like, I see something inside of you. I don't know what that's going to turn into. You could easily be an administrator someday, or it could be something else. And going through a list of different positions, not only on campus level, but at the district level, to say, I think there's something there that you can explore, and to see the kind of that light bulb moment for them, but then also the passion that gets
yeah.
inflamed by that short little conversation, and seeing the growth in such a short period of time is so fun. I absolutely love it.
So all right, so let's dig in. Like take us into it. What is the cohort? Like I feel like cohort gets thrown around a lot. Like it can be attached to a lot of
Yeah.
different things, right? And so tell us a little bit more about forget the word cohort. What is the actual thing that I'm opted in for, that I'm applying for? Because I think it's an application process, I believe, right?
Yeah,
So
there's a short application for
what
sure.
is the thing I'm actually trying to apply for and get in for? Like what do I actually
Yeah,
get if Joshua Stamper deems me worthy?
of course. So Jeff, before I begin, do you hear snoring?
Is that a child or a dog? I wasn't
That
gonna
is my
say
French.
anything.
That is my French bulldog, and she's being so loud right now. So if someone is hearing something
Oh,
in the background,
oh,
it's not
oh,
that
you can
someone's
hear it, my
bored out of their
friend.
mind.
Yeah, you
So
can hear it.
do
That's
I need to get rid of her, or should we just press on? Because she's
listen,
getting so
I don't
loud.
wanna speak for everyone listening, but for me, like, it's
It's a little
adorable. Like,
distracting.
yeah, maybe, yeah, she is loud. That's
She's
funny.
loud.
If you think I'm cutting this out, I'm not. Um, I think it's up to you whether you want to leave her there or give her a little nudge, but I don't think it's
Yeah, I
super
might not do.
distracting. Now that we've mentioned it, everyone's gonna hear it even more so because we're gonna pick it out. But
I know, right?
and
Should I
possibly
just
in
should I
my
just put her on camera and just
just
like
put it
make
on
her
camera.
wake up?
In the post, I might have the edit, and we'll just like isolate just her snoring
She's
for a
already
little bit.
asleep.
That'd be
I
great.
just put her on the share. Okay, so I digress. My apologies for anyone that's as distracted as I am as my
And
principal
this
dog
is
is
the
snoring
level of professionalism that you could
that you will get.
expect from
Yes,
this
I know we
friendly
got a lot
dog.
of dog lovers in
We
the
got
T-shirt
lots of dog
community.
lovers. I will never
So
be upset about a dog making an appearance ever. That'll never be a bad thing on my book.
right? So go ahead and in the comment section, you can throw in your dog and what their name is and their breed because
Definitely, yes.
we love dogs around here.
All right,
Going
get
back,
us into the
I
cohorts.
gotcha.
What do we actually talk about? What is actually on the table here, and what the
Yeah,
opportunity that's actually before us?
yeah. I just did a webinar last night, and folks have already started to apply. So I appreciate that. And we'll put up the website in just a second. But what you get is exclusive community access, and what that means is that you're going to have other folks that are like-minded to yourself, that are passionate, that are hungry, that want to learn and want to advance in some way. And like we said, everyone's journey is a little bit different. So that's going to look obviously different for each person. You're also going to get some workshops. So there's going to be 2 Zooms every month that are going to be recorded too. So we know that you probably are busy, have busy lives. Um, I have 6 kids, so I get to have a tough time with my schedule all the time. So we are going to record that and then send that out afterwards for everyone. But the idea is that this is a collaboration space during the Zoom. So you're getting the information, but you're also, I mean, as we know, the smartest person in the room is the room. So we want to make sure we have all these awesome educators together a couple of times a month. And then we also get the peer support. So we're going to do that through Voxer, which is my favorite application. Jeff knows this very, very well, where we're going to build that out. And then also we'll have a Facebook group that we'll put together for the group. So that way there's a couple different access points that
Yeah.
people can ask questions and get information. And then also a resource library that's going to be constructed throughout the process to be able to share out, for those reflective times and actionable things that we will want people to do. So that way, they're getting different frameworks that are going to help them in their leadership journey.
So I'm getting resources. Um, I'm getting workshops twice a month. It sounds like, right, coming together. I'm getting this community of folks that I'm connected to who are on the while it might be different points we're trying to get to, we're on the same journey together. We're like-minded. We're there for support. We're there for learning. We're there for growth. And it sounds like I love the fact that there's both like the Facebook group for just that asynchronous, always all like touch points and stuff, but also the Voxer opportunity. Because I think one thing I've always liked about Voxer is that the audio messaging allows you to hear the inflection in someone's voice and how they're saying things. It's just there's a little bit different connection there, and I like that. And it's really quick also. Access there. So that's how long is the cohort? I don't think I asked that to start. Like, how long does this last?
Yeah, it's as long as folks want it to last. So we have monthly options for them if they just want to be in there for maybe 3 months, or if they want to do it for a whole year. There's annual plans also. Obviously, I think if you're committed, you want to be there as long as possible to have that
Yeah.
support for the long term.
So in theory, I mean, I could come in and be like, hey, like I'm on like I'm on the push. I want to really get started. I could come in for just 3 to 6 months or whatever and get myself rolling. But I could also like, and maybe that's sort of like my last push to try and get that promotion or get that title or get that role or whatever. But in theory, I could also just stay long after and have the continual support. Probably have some opportunity to do some reflection and coaching and mentoring and stuff as well. Like this isn't
Oh yeah.
something that I would necessarily like grow out of or age out of or like promote out of or anything. I could stay in here.
No, and we'll see what the need is
Okay.
too. I mean, if there's one where it's just strictly leaders, principals and APs that want to
Maybe
have a
some tiers
cohort,
or something
we
in the
can
future.
definitely,
Yeah, sure.
build that out. That's easy. But for the aspiring leader component of it, yeah, I mean, we're going to have leadership assessments too. So we're going to have quarterly progress evals that are
Okay.
provided to you based on the goals that you set at the beginning. So it's all dependent on everyone's journey. Some people, like you
Yeah.
said, might be a teacher and just maybe are thinking about being a leader someday. And other folks, they've got their masters, they've got their licensure, they're ready to go, and they want to prep to be in that admin role
Yeah.
here in a couple of months. That's a very different journey, right? So depending on
Yeah.
where you're at and what your plan is moving forward, obviously we're going to apply that to your goal setting and laying that out so that you're being successful in wherever you're at.
I love the component of putting some of the final touches and building some additional pieces and stuff as this thing grows. I think too often, like we like when something like this rolls out, like it's whoever it is that puts it out thinks that it has to be solely done, it's ready to go, and this is how it's going to operate. I think these types of communities and memberships and support pieces that actually really work are the ones that are very open up front. That's on, hey, like you've kind of said it, like we're going to build some of these resources along the way. We're going to put things together because this isn't about what Josh thinks everyone needs. It's about what the people that come here actually need, which is why you're a great coach, is because of that, right? You don't come in with this idea of like, this is how you do it. It's no, we're going to use the Aspire, like the model and stuff as a foundation, but like it's not rigid. It's a model, it's a framework, it's a way of operating, not a specific system necessarily. And so I think that's a really awesome approach to it. I love that. It's gonna be really exciting to watch it grow and see it continue to evolve and become what it needs to become in order to support the folks that are coming to it. So I love that. So, all right, tell me about the application process, and is there a deadline in place right now? Like, what's that? And then let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and put the um the URL,
Banner.
the link on the screen, but you can
Yeah.
obviously mention for those that are listening and not watching as well.
Of course. So for the audio audience, you can just go to joshtamper.com and you'll see on the top banner cohorts. Click on that, and you're going to see a page full of everything that we're talking about today. And there's also a button for the application process. And it literally will take you 3 minutes. It's not anything extensive. It's really just to get an understanding of like where you're at in your journey, what are some pain points that you're going through, and what's your goal that you want to get to. Obviously, we want to know like, your title now, where you want to eventually be. And so that's just going to give just an opportunity to see, okay, is this the best fit for you? Because I don't want to just let everybody in, because for some folks, it may not be the best opportunity for them. It
Hmm.
may not be a fit, and it goes both ways. So I just want to make sure that this is exactly where you need to be. And we talked about that accelerated coaching piece too. Um, you know, it may be that you want something that's one-on-one instead of the
Yeah,
cohort.
right.
Maybe that's better for you. And we've got that on that same what you're the link that you've got there, the joshhammer.com/leadership dash cohorts. We've got, a different investment that might be better for you also. So, um, you know, just want to tailor it similar to what you were talking about before, Jeff. We want to make sure
Yeah.
that whatever is being put in place is going to be the best for where you are in your leadership journey. But the application process, like I said, it's quick, easy, and then you'll get a response within 24 hours, letting you know kind of next steps. You asked about the date. We're looking for a December 1st launch for the
Okay.
first cohort. And the
Great.
reason for that is because I know it's hard to believe, but the districts are going to be pushing out information here
It's
soon.
yep.
As far as the first stage of uh, applications, going through that process, especially if you're looking to be an administrator someday, and you just need to have everything in place, things like resume, things about how to answer
Hmm.
specific questions for that role, and making sure that you have all the experiences needed. So when you go into that interview process, you're talking about what you did versus what I would do, because that's vastly different. And it's going to be obvious to those around the table of if you're prepared for that role that you're seeking versus, oh, you know what, there's better candidates out there.
Okay, so I love okay, so December 1st. So I've got, this is right now we're recording this on October 31st. Hopefully this
Happy
will be
Halloween.
live. Hopefully this will be live tomorrow.
Right.
Within the next day or two. And by the way, we'll have the link for those of you who watch it on YouTube. If you go right below in the description, the link will be there as well to get over to that. Um, but I love the fact that we've got a little bit of time, but you got that December 1st. So that means the first of those live workshops on Zoom, those will be in December. I
Yeah.
assume, right?
So
Okay.
yeah, we like to, so like the schedule that I was working through on the webinar yesterday was talking about like the first week and last week of the month, and trying to mix those up too, because obviously schedules are different of having us either sometime in the evening during the workday or on the weekend,
Hmm.
just to be uh, accommodating to all the different professionals that want to be a part of those Zooms.
Yeah. Oh, I love it, man. I think you got all my questions, right? This is why I wanted to prep, Josh. I wanted to make sure I had all the questions. But we know what we're talking about. We know who this is for. We know what we're gonna get. We know where we gotta go. We know what we gotta do.
Yep.
Am I missing anything that you want to share to make sure that everyone hears what they need to hear about this? Or I think,
Yeah.
or are we good?
So
What
I
I
just
miss?
want to
What
talk
I
about
miss?
the founder membership
Okay, tell me about
because
that. That's
while
got I'm interested right now.
the first 10 founding
Okay.
members, the people that are signing up that have been approved through the application process, I'm going to give a pretty large discount for the annual plan. So it's technically 55% off of the
Wow. Okay.
total annual plan. So if you want to be a founding member, jump on that
That's
because
a
that'll be a
yeah.
lifetime thing. Like as long as you're a part of this cohort, you get that founder membership cost.
So first
And
10 I'm locking in like 55% off.
yeah,
Okay.
so
Well, if that isn't a reason to move, I don't know what else to tell you. So joshstamper.com/leadership dash cohorts. And then I assume I haven't went to that page. I assume that's where the application is and everything. Everything lives on
yes,
that page, right?
everything
Okay,
lives on
awesome.
that page.
That's awesome, dude. I am so pumped for this. I'm so excited for you and the folks that are going to be able to take advantage of this and get to connect with you and work with you. Obviously, I've had the and I know we joke a lot, but I've had the pleasure and actually the absolute honor to get to work with you in a lot of different capacities over the last dang over a half decade now. And while I've never been in a role where I was either being coached necessarily by you, the amount of times that I've been coached by you, if that makes sense, is up there. And so I'm super excited for others to really get this experience. I know this is something that is so near and dear to you and such a passion for you. And I know that just from knowing you and considering you a very, very close friend, but also seeing you speak on this so many times to so many different people and seeing the way you interact with folks and the way you talk with people and the fire that comes through you when you speak to these things. And so it's super exciting to see you launching this. This is really, really cool. So hopefully if you're listening, if you're watching, take the shot, fill out the application, see if it makes sense. I know Josh, he's not going to let you to go in this or spend money if it's not the thing for you. He's going to be the first one to tell you, "Hey, you should wait. Hey, I'm not right for you," or whatever. I don't know who that would be. I don't think anyone's going to fit in there. Side note, but whatever. So like, take it shot. This is key. Leadership. You said it earlier. Leadership is it's lonely.
Yes.
It's tough, and it can feel from and I'm not a teacher, so this is coming from my experience of talking to teachers, not as so take it as that is like it can feel so often like you're leaving your peers or that it wasn't enough for you, you know, to just be serving students. And I think that we play these teachers play these games in their heads of that, and that's just not the case, right?
Yep.
Like wanting to go to go into a different position and to have a different role and to lead, and if that might mean leaving your classroom, like that does not make you less of, it doesn't make you anything, it just makes you someone who's supposed to be in that role, right? And that role is an important piece of the ecosystem that supports the students that we're trying to help learn and grow. And so having this support group and people that have like Josh that have been through it and also the people that are currently going through it with you, like, that is to me, I mean, I'm a member of multiple communities,
Yep.
multiple masterminds, like, they're the lifeblood that keeps it going because it can be lonely doing things like this. So, I really encourage you if you're listening, watching, go over to joshstamper.com/leadership-cohorts, fill out the application, take a chance on yourself. You're gonna be in good hands, and you'll be on a good path, and hopefully people sign up like crazy, and it's gonna be really excited, and then maybe we'll come back, I don't know. Dude, what you know would be cool is maybe like a end of December or January episode where we, like,
Yeah,
reflect back on, like, what was the first couple months like? I think that'd be a lot of fun,
that would be.
from a lot of different angles. I think that'd be really cool from a leadership angle, but also maybe from our entrepreneur angle, which is a whole nother conversation that we're not having today, but we'll have it another time. So I'll say it one more time just in case for the people in the back, joshstamper.com/leadership-cohorts. Josh, dude, I'm pumped for you. This is exciting, man. Appreciate you hanging out with me and letting us share in the excitement around what you're doing. And I appreciate you also reminding me that we didn't need to prep. It was a good.
It's just better when we don't, and we just
It
are
really
ourselves.
is. It
And
is.
I will say before we push to the end of the podcast is I just want to thank you, Jeff, and Teach Better as a whole. You have been a huge influence in my career, my life, myself as a leader, a speaker. I mean, so many different ways. And so I just appreciate not only being invited here today, but also just the impact that you've made, not only on my life, but I know in so many people, educators' lives that are listening today.
Well, we appreciate you, brother. You know I do. And your snoring dog is always welcome on the Teach Better Talk podcast.
Good old Pudgy.
It's exciting. I'm pretty sure we're going to actually now record an Aspire Leadership mailbag episode as well. So we got to go do that. We're also not
Yes.
going to prep for that. If you've ever
Nope.
listened to an episode of that, you know we don't prep. But with
Definitely.
that said, I hope you take advantage of this. I hope everyone's doing well. We appreciate if you guys ever need anything. I hope you can always reach out to the team. Everything's over at teachbetter.com. I love you. I appreciate you. And until next time, let's get out there. Let's teach better.